Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursaleen. Sayyidina wa Mawlana Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. All praises are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of the heavens and the earth and all that is between them. All praises is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has created time and space, and He is exalted beyond His creation. And may all peace and blessings be upon the seal of the prophets, the mercy to the universes, the most honored one in the divine presence, the Habibullah, Sayyidina wa Mawlana Muhammadin alayhi salatu wassalam. And may all peace and blessings be upon his family and his companions and all those who follow him until the last day. Ayyuhal mu'minun, O believers, wake up. Wake up. We must be in awakening station. Don't be heedless. Take the warnings that are coming from your Lord and from your Prophet ﷺ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in the Holy Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, there are many jinns and men that we have created, that we have made for the hell. They have hearts, but they don't use it to understand. They have eyes, but they don't use it to understand. And they have ears, and they don't use it to hear. They are like cattle. No, they are more misguided than that. They are in ghaflat. They are in heedless station. And the Lord of the heavens and the earth is saying in another surah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and the drunkenness of death will come. That is what you are trying to avoid. And the horn will be blown. That is the day in which warning had been given. And every soul will come forward, with it an angel to drive it and an angel to bear witness. It will be said, indeed, you were in ghaflat of this. Now we have removed from you your covering, and sharp is your sight this day. O believers, our death is haq. Our grave is haq. Our standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment, it is haq. Our crossing of the sirat is haq. And the paradise and the hellfire, they are haq. The believer must be preparing for these realities, not to be sinking into the fake life of this dunya. Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, when the light of Islam enters a person's heart, when it enters a person's chest, his heart opens up for it. Someone asked, Ya Rasulullah, is there any sign which indicates that Islam has entered into the heart? The Prophet ﷺ said, yes. When you are not attracted towards the house that is going to deceive you, meaning the dunya, when your attraction for the dunya, it's starting to become weak, and your attraction towards the hereafter life becomes strong, and there is preparation before the coming of death. Has Islam entered into our hearts? Or are we still running around in this world without any sense of purpose? As the ayat is saying, worse than the cattle. This world is not the place of pleasures. This world is a place of tests. Holy Prophet ﷺ said, Ad-dunya sijnul mu'min wa jannatul kafir. This world is the prison of the believer and the paradise of the disbeliever. So we need to take a look at how we are taking this world. And we need to be honest with ourselves. We need to be sincere. Which category are we fitting into? Have we made this dunya into our enemy? Or have we taken this world as our friend? Sahib al-Saif, Shaykh Abdulkerim Kibrisi Rabbani, our Shaykh, is teaching us that in this world a man has 4 enemies. The nafs, hawa, shaitan and dunya. The ego, the desires, shaitan, and this world. What a foolish and arrogant man is that one who claims to be a believer but takes these 4 as his friends. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us warning in Surah Al-Yasin, in which we are reading and we are listening to every day. Didn't I take an oath from you? Didn't I take an oath, a promise from you, O children of Adam, that you do not worship shaitan? He is your clearest enemy. We need to ask ourselves. We are calling ourselves, majority, they are calling themselves believers of this 21st century. Who are we taking as a friend? And who are we taking as an enemy? Are we running to be friends with the friends of Allah? Or are we running to be friends with His enemies? Sit down. Look. Be sincere. And see what we are busy with. The man who is busy with that, you will find that he is busy with his friend. What he is busy with, that is what he is taking his friends for. Because when we leave this world, there is no hiding. We cannot lie in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment and say that we worship Him when we were busy with worshipping this dunya, running after the pleasures and the treasures of this dunya, and running to satisfy our ego. We cannot pretend on the day of judgment that we are the servants of Allah when we find ourselves being busy with shaitan in this dunya. When we find ourselves being busy serving this dunya and serving our egos. As our Lord is saying, that day will be the sure reality. Therefore, whoever will, let him take a straight return to his Lord. O believers, we still have the breath of life. We are still in this dunya. And as long as we have that breath of life, we must run, not walk, not crawl, run, to be more obedient to our Lord Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We must be running to return clean and pure to our Lord Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because once we leave this world, there is no more chance. It is finished. Once we enter to that grave, we will be trapped with whatever we sent there. We are not those ones who say, we're going to come back into this world and there's going to be another chance. Then, if you don't make it, there's going to be another chance, and another chance, and another chance. As long as a man does not know his ego and does not step on his ego, he can come back 1 billion times. He will still make the same mistake, the same worse sins and disobedience to his Lord. It is not the number of times that you're given the chance to live in this world. It is knowing your enemy and to be able to become victorious over that enemy. The chance is not given to us once. The chance is given to us countless times, every single day, every single hour. 24,000 breaths are given to us. With it comes 24,000 chances for us to return to our Lord. If a man becomes ignorant and stubborn and refuses to understand this, it doesn't matter that time how many thousands or billions of chances he gets, he will still make the same mistake over and over again. One of the ways that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that He does not accept His servants to return to Him is as tyrants. He is saying in Hadith al-Qudsi, O my servants, I have forbidden myself oppression, zulm, tyranny, and I have made it between you forbidden. So do not oppress one another. Don't be a zalim. Don't be a tyrant to one another. Today's mankind, they are saying, well, I don't hurt anybody. I don't oppress anybody. I'm not cruel to anyone. Yes, because through the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have not been granted the power to do that. If, maybe, not maybe, definitely, if we are given the power of a strong person, a president, a prime minister, a ruler, we would be the worst oppressor in the world. The chances are not given to us. It's closed. Check yourself. We need to check in our life how we are being an oppressor, how we are being a tyrant. Who is the tyrant? The one who takes the rights of others. Not only the rights of others, but the ones who tyrannize themselves. How are we tyrannizing ourselves? By obeying our ego and disobeying our Lord. When our father Adam alayhi salam and our mother Hawa ate from the forbidden tree, they prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying, our Lord, we have tyrannized our own souls. If you do not forgive us and do not bestow upon us your mercy, we will certainly be lost. Adam alayhi salam did not say this once. He did not say this 300 times. He said this for 300 years, standing on one foot on the mountain of Serendip in Sri Lanka, crying and begging his Lord. One mistake that he did. One mistake that he did because he was trying to please Hawana. That shaitan got to him through that, crying because he's separated from his Lord. Not crying because he's separated from his wife. Hawana was crying because she was separated from her husband. But Adam alayhi salam was crying because he was separated from his Lord. His size was so big that his head was touching the first paradise. And the angels, when they heard Safiullah, the Khalifatullah, crying, they were not able to do their duties. They cried with him, begging Allah to forgive him too. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then made him to become smaller and smaller. Sin makes you to become small, so that his crying will not bother the angels. After 300 years, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgave him. Yunus alayhi salam, the prophet, he did not make a mistake. He did not make a sin. He decided to leave. Who? His ummah. Because they refused to listen to him. He did not ask for his ummah to be punished. He did not say, now bring the revenge of Allah on them. He could not take it. And he said, let me bring myself away from these people. And is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala liking that? When you are running away from the responsibility that has been given to you? No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punished his prophet. He was swallowed by the fish, the whale, and he spent a long time inside the whale. And every day, every moment in that punishment, he is saying what? La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. He did not blame his ummah to say, it's because of them that I'm here. He did not blame his Lord. Astaghfirullah. He did not blame the fish for swallowing him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as if telling him, you want to be alone, away from your responsibilities? Now you are completely alone. And when you are completely alone and away from your responsibilities, you become a tyrant. We cannot return to Allah with tyranny in our hearts. We cannot return as oppressors to others or oppressors to ourselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, do not come into my presence with these two sins. O mankind, O sons of Adam, know that every sin that you commit, I will forgive you. Because my mercy is covering my anger. Do not come into my presence with these two sins. Everything else I forgive. One is ascribing partners to me. Let's not enter there. What is a shirk and what is a hidden shirk? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, I will not forgive. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He may do as He likes. He may forgive. That's between Him and His servant. But He says, the second sin, don't come into my presence with this sin. And that is taking the rights of others. I will never forgive you. When is Allah going to forgive us? When that one that we have wronged forgives us. Then Allah will forgive. In these days, people are very quick to punish. They're not quick to forgive. They're not quick to ask for forgiveness. More than that, running 21st century Muslims, murids, running to make the whole world to be witnesses to their mistakes, to their sins, to their wrongdoings. Not learning how to cover, not learning how to conceal, not learning that Allah is Sattar, and if I cover, He may cover my own faults too. How do we get rid of that tyranny? We must submit to that one who is representing the authority of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We must submit to those ones who are carrying the authority of the Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. Because they are the ones who knows how to crush the ego, the ulul amir, the rightly guided leaders. They know how to take out the tyranny from our hearts. Maybe we don't know that it is a tyranny. Maybe we think that it is normal. Maybe we think that we have the rights. We must learn to become servants. Because the servant, he can never be a tyrant. The servant has one job: to run after and to serve his master. If you want to go back to your Lord clean from tyranny, run to become a servant to those who are the servants of Allah and His Prophet. As one saint is saying, a true Shaykh scrubs his murids just as a washer rubs and beats dirt out of clothes. It's not too many sheikhs like that around. Our Shaykh, he is such a master. Do not let go in this life, even for a moment. Do not lose obedience, even for a moment. Otherwise, we will regret in this life and the hereafter. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Lazim la ilaha illa wal hayyul qayyum wa atubu ilayh.